When I think of professional tennis, this is what comes to mind. Novak Djokovic playing in the Wimbledon finals. Thousands of spectators follow every shot in the stadium, and millions of people are watching at home. The winner will go home with £2 million, while the loser will settle for slightly over £1 million. In reality, this is how most men in the professional tennis tour spend their time. In the ITF Tour, Futures, there is very little money, little to no spectators, and tough competition. Here there is no fame, no glory, and very little cash. Thousands of young men grind it out, sometimes for years, in an attempt to climb the ranks and hopefully make it to the next level. In this video, we take a look at the men's professional tennis world from a financial point of view. How much do players make? What are the sources of income, and is it worth it at all? Let's start by looking at the different income sources for professional tennis players. Prize money is the main source of income for the vast majority of professional tennis players. We will talk about it in depth later on. Generally speaking, endorsements are a significant source of income for the following groups of players: the top 30 players in the world, prominent tennis players in the local market, and past stars, for example, Kei Nishikori, Stan Wawrinka, and Dominic Thiem, all top 10 players in the recent past. Other players, rank up to 200 or so, may receive endorsement deals, but those will be typically low, and in many cases consist of just free tennis equipment. The next income source is appearance fees. Appearance fees are paid to prominent players for participating in a tournament, in order to attract media attention and sell tickets. Appearance fees are a significant source of income only for the top 20 or 30 in the world, and to specific players with a strong media appeal. The last source of income is government support. Some governments support promising tennis players at the start of their careers. Players may receive free coaching, free use of facilities, travel expenses, fitness training, physiotherapy service, and other related services. As we mentioned before, for most professional tennis players, prize money is the main source of income. For 2022, there are 641 tournaments in the men's tour, with a total prize money of $257 million. Side note, the US Open Grand Slam tournament has not announced the prize money for 2022 yet, so I'm using the data from the 2021 tournament. As we can see from the chart, a very small number of tournaments give away most of the prize money. The 4 Grand Slam tournaments are responsible for 38% of the total prize money. And 30 top tournaments give away an astonishing 83% of all prize money. The current situation is that unless a player is lucky or gets a wild card, players ranked below 300 or so only have access to the ATP Challenger Tour and the ITF Tour. In rare occasions, they may get into the ATP Cup. Players ranked below 500 or 600 will only have access to the ITF Tour. Again, unless given a wild card or some other stroke of luck. Let's look at a single year and see the prize money distribution among the top 1200 players in the ATP rankings. I chose 2019 since 2020 was completely distorted by the pandemic. And in 2021 we still had lockdowns, quarantines, and visa and travel restrictions. These are pre-tax prize money earnings, and taxes will be deducted according to each country's tax laws. We can see that the top 10 players make $6.5 million on average from prize money. Those ranked 11 to 20 make $2.2 million on average, and between 21 and 50, the income from prize money is $1.27 million. We can also see that the prize money income drops rapidly as we move down the ATP rankings. Players ranked between 200 and 250 make just $128,000 on average, and those ranked 250 to 300 make only $66,000 on average. Note that tennis players have lots of out-of-pocket expenses, including the flights, the accommodations, the coaching, physiotherapy, fitness training, etc. So a player making $60,000 a year may only break even after deducting his expenses and taxes. Below the 300 rank, we can be pretty certain players are either barely scraping by or losing money while playing professional tennis. These are my conclusions from the yearly prize money income analysis. Note that this is a generalization and there are always exceptions to the rule. On a yearly basis, the top 100 tennis players are making lots of money. Players ranked between 100 and 250 are making a good living from tennis. Players ranked 250 to 350 are around the break-even point. Some will make a small profit while others will be at a loss. And players ranked 350 and below are losing money. Since the annual income varies greatly from year to year, let's have a look at the average income over the entire career as a professional tennis player. The data includes 342 tennis players who retired between 2018 and 2022. I considered between 5 and 10 tournaments a year as the start of the professional career. For deciding when a career ended, I simply used common sense. We can see that 56% of players make up to $10,000 per year over their career from prize money. Another 20% make between $10,000 and $20,000, and 4% make between $20,000 to $30,000 per year. On the top end, 2% of players make above $1 million per year, and another 2.9% make between $500,000 to $1 million per year. When we look at tennis players' income over a given year or over their entire career, it looks bleak. The vast majority of professional tennis players lose money while playing tennis. This doesn't even take into account their expenses before they join the professional tour, spent on coaching, use of facilities, on equipment, tennis camps, etc. So, should we sell our rackets and give up now? Luckily, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Income distribution in the men's tour has been improving dramatically over the last decade, and more money is funneled to lower-ranked players. Let's look at the Grand Slam's prize distribution. Here we see what percentage of the Grand Slam's total prize money is dedicated to each round. While the share given to the winner and finalist went down drastically since 2015, the share going to the first round losers went up significantly, and the share dedicated to the qualifiers rounds more than doubled. This is how much a player would make by participating in the 4 Grand Slams. A first round loser in all Grand Slams in 2022 will take home $266,000 compared to just $60,000 in 2010. If you lose in the first qualifiers round in all Grand Slams in 2022, you will still make $64,000 compared to just $15,000 in 2015. We can see there is a real improvement for players who have access to the Grand Slam tournaments, usually those ranked up to 230 or so. To summarize, here are my main conclusions from diving into the numbers. Income in the professional tennis world is heavily concentrated. The top 100 players get 77% of all prize money, while those ranked 400 to 500 get only 1%. The vast majority, around 80% of professional tennis players, lose money during their career. Prize money distribution has been improving in recent years, and lower-ranked players are receiving a bigger share of the pie.